Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of Coffee and Question. What's today's topic? What kind of filtration system do I use for my pneumatic tools when I'm spraying finishes, or whether I'm using a plasma cutter or whatever I'm doing? I can tell you right now at the start, I don't use any of them from out at Harbor Freight. I don't have the faith in the quality of the manufacturer of any of those things, whether it's the lubricator, the regulator, any of those things pneumatic wise. So I searched around, read a lot of reviews, and I went with the Astro. So I'm going to show you some pictures here in a minute of how I have it mounted. We'll talk briefly. I'll switch over, I'll call up the advertisement, then we'll go through questions and answers. My advice to you in a nutshell is you want a good, high quality regulator filter. That simple, but let's dig into it in more detail. I'll be with you in just a second. Well, like I said, it's afternoon, so we're back to tea and water. Not quite time for your favorite beverage yet, but if it's the end of the day and you're watching this and you have it in your refrigerator, you can drink it, okay? When I first started setting up my air spraying equipment and my pneumatic stuff, I wanted something good. This is what I chose. So let me give you a quick cam video, whatever, of the inside of my shop and what I have set up, and then we'll be right back. All right, folks, now this is my Astro Star setup, okay, right here. And you'll see up above here, I have black pipe. I didn't use PVC. It comes down, it comes into this filter. It's got the gauge, the regulator on it. It's got the quick disconnect over here. Okay, here's a little bit more close-up of the quick disconnect, and then it's right here to the hose. There's my regulator. There's the handle where I can set the working pressure. There's the canister. It can unscrew from there, and you can change out and clean the filter. I haven't had to do that, and I've owned it for a long time. I do check it, though. Okay, so that's just an overview, and you saw where I have a skinny air hose coming off of it. I have it temporarily set up for a little Badger airbrush spray gun. So that's the reason, why I don't need, the great big, like 3/8 or whatever air hose coming off of there. I have a small air hose because I can regulate the pressure up here with that silver knob to whatever I want. And if I'm setting up to plasma cut, it's different. Then, I can crank up the working pressure. So those things are a benefit to me to be able to have that kind of control. But what happens is as the air is sent from the compressor through that black piping, okay, and it comes down to this unit. Now, I've got drain off valves, like 3 or 4 of them at different angles, in the black pipe. That's a different video, but the black pipe goes up, it goes up higher, it crosses over, it comes down, and I've got drain valves. So I can drain any condensation out of the pipe, and it does get it, okay? And I use black pipe over PVC for all the obvious reasons. Anyway, it comes down, it comes into the unit. On the top, there are 4 screws. If I unscrew that, the canister drops off. You can check the filter, put it back on. It also has a drain valve on there, you'll see at the bottom. And then on the right over here, where the little red gate valve is, that's where I can turn the pressure on and off to the actual hose, which is another nice little benefit. So for me, this worked out really well. So I went ahead, this is the one that I use. So let's do questions and answers. I did a video right after I first bought this back in 2017, and I'm still using it, and I would buy it again, no doubt. But let's go over the questions and answers. All right, well, there's a comment on here, what's the fitting size? It's 1/2 inch NPT female threads. And the recommended distance from the compressor to the filter is 50 feet. And then, like I said, if you run it through piping like I did, you'll have those drain valves. How's a black piping run? It's run from the compressor straight up to the ceiling, but there are gentle slopes. As it comes down and around and into this, which creates you know, the gravity for the condensation to come down to where the drain valves are that I can open up, and they're just gate valves that I put in line. But you know, anyway, that's the basic way of how I did it and how I set it up for a friend of mine. What's on the inside of the canister? Well, a filter. I'm not sure what you're trying to ask, but there's a filter inside of it. Yeah, back to the PSI question. I mean, you know, I've got a big 80-gallon compressor, puts out over, well, at or over 150 PSI, and this filter handles it without a problem. Yeah, I did read the reviews on this. There's a lot of mixed reviews. There's a lot of people that were unhappy with the unit, claiming that it doesn't filter, or it doesn't filter as it should. And I was worried about that when I first got it, but I got some disposable red filters. They're inexpensive, and I have them on the line itself, even after this filter, because I spray a lot of lacquer and, well, not varnish, but lacquer, sometimes shellac. So I want that additional protection, and it was real cheap to just add it in line, these little round, you know, red filters. But I haven't had a problem with this like a lot of people have. So I don't know if it's just, you know, hit and miss what these people got, but you know, there's probably over 75%, give or take, of people that are satisfied with it. I've been satisfied with it. That's what I can tell you from my experience with it. Okay, I was reading in here too that when you get this unit, if you get it, you want to go ahead, take an Allen wrench and retighten those top screws on that blue area. It's just to make sure, because there's a seal in there, that it hasn't loosened during shipment, you know, or anything like that. But this is definitely a solid built, well manufactured, you know, canister filter. I mean, it really is. What's the deal with Star versus Astro? Astro makes it, Star is the model. Well, you just look up Astro pneumatics. The input size is 1/2 inch NPT, the output is 3/8 NPT. Now here's a comment somebody wrote, which is a good idea if you want to do a little bit of a modification. He wrote, the included shutoff valve doesn't appear to be full port and looks fairly restrictive. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch shutoff on the input to the filter and remove the one that's in the picture. I'll then attach a 3/8 hose with a 1/4 NPT fitting directly to the regulator. With no quick disconnect, this will give me maximum best airflow. Yeah, okay, I mean, you could do that if you want to enhance it. So far, I haven't had to do that. It's been working great just the way that it is, and yes, I do have a quick disconnect on it. Same person had a leak around the gasket where the yellow meets the blue. He took it off and he used copper gasket sealer, which is used in, you know, automotive repair work. Put that on there, tightened it back up, never leaked again. Okay, so I mean, that's a good fix to a minor problem. Good, thanks for the, you know, I mean, thanks for writing that. Another person's, you know, comment in here is around where the PSI gauge is. It had like a little leak. All he did was just remove it, wrap it with Teflon tape, put it back on there, leak problem solved. Now, I haven't had the leak problems that these people have had, but between the copper sealer, the Teflon tape, you know, they've resolved them, and they all say it's damn well worth the money in the long run. Now, again, like I say in a lot of things, you shouldn't have to modify or repair something when you buy it new, but it beats shipping it back and going through this mess when these are quick fixes. So I think it's well built. It's a heavy unit, you know, and you can tell when you get it and lift it up out of the box it's shipped in, it's damn good quality. The griping about, you know, hey, it doesn't filter and there's contaminants, not that you have to, try replacing the filter in this. Now, I got mine, I had no problems, and I know there's a handful of people that have griped about that. You can also, like I said, put an inline filter, one of those disposable red ones. But, you know, again, yeah, I understand you shouldn't have to, but I do it as an added precaution. Not that there was anything wrong with this unit. What's the unit made out of? It's made out of metal, the whole thing. Well, you can look around, but this exact same filter setup, and it's got a lot of stainless steel in the manufacturer, is sold for like 2 and 3 times the price that you're getting it for here on Amazon. So I would seriously consider this if you're looking for a good quality setup. Okay, why use the inline filter? Well, as double protection, you don't have to, but I do. I'll leave you the link below. They're inexpensive. I think they're about $5 a piece, and it's well worth the added protection. That's to let you know, after all this time, it's still working great, and I would buy it again. All right, folks, I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe, hit the notification bell, keep following me. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.